Stupid hat. Look at that beautiful blue sky out there, eh? Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. Elite my ass. Gee. Some people just like to title themselves, eh? I'm just some girl that started doing research, finding out the truth and standing on it, and loving me, choosing me. That's the key. But like I'm covered so spiritually ranked because I agreed to come here, I guess, and take down dark stuff just by telling the truth. Like we all know what's going on. We all are playing a part. But I tell you, this targeted individual, I think I brought this on myself, really. But, anyways, it's funny how everything I've ever imagined myself being, like looking or moving to a certain house or having certain people in my life, it happens. But it doesn't happen right away. And it's not something that, when I try to do it, it takes longer. But, like, say I'm house hunting because I want to move somewhere. And I find this house that I just love. I picture myself living in it. And I get that house or that job or so I gotta stop thinking about the one I'm doing now so that it just comes quicker. But sometimes it's hard because you're wanting certain values in your life and certain things you're no longer willing to put up with. Just inauthenticity, period. I just can't stand it. Like, if you can't just be who you are, it's because, well, it's harder to, I find it's harder to be something that you're not than it is to just be you. And if you got things that you don't like about yourself, then you change them. Certain things are a little harder to change, but I think, like me smoking, there's a reason God kept me on it because I'm finding out that it stops the COVID shit. Not that I took the shot because I wasn't that dumb, but they've been there's apparently they're putting it in the air now and stuff. Well, you people sometimes think they're so smart, eh? But they're not that smart when you know what they know. And you know more. And it's like that saying in the Bible, or that story in the Bible about, I think it was Haman, where he wanted to be the king. It's about Esther. He wanted to be the king, and he was just, he worked under the king, and he thought he was all that in a bag of chips because he was working under the king, and he was going around bad mouthing Mordecai, I think it was. And Mordecai was a really good guy, right? He worked for the king too, but he was good. And he had this niece, wow, who he was preparing for the king. But the king was looking for a new wife because his wife wouldn't come down and show herself off in front of all his buddies. So he banished her and was looking for a new one. So he's going through the kingdom looking for a woman. But yeah, it's like he thought he was all that, and then it landed up that the king chose Esther out of this big harem of women and asked her what she wanted, and she set up Haman for everybody to see who he was. And kings asked Haman, well, what would you give to such a great man that, that, what do you think I should gift this man that I think is really worth it and stuff? And this Haman guy goes, oh, this and this and this and this and this and this. And then when the king found out who Haman really was, he had Mordecai, run through the streets with everything Haman said he could have. It was just so cool. And then Mordecai's his niece married the king. So, careful when you're buttering yourself up and you're not all that, right? So, I mean, there's all the stories in the Bible are basically telling you how to get through life. And, without having too much bad karma, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, have a good day.